I just helped this player, and this player complete transform their offense in Madden 26 by simply implementing one of the top 3 offensive playbooks to their game. If you're in a bad playbook, it's going to be nearly impossible to score points, so you're not going to want to miss out any of the updated best ones that I'm breaking down today. Let's jump right into it. The first offense that I want to break down is one that won Henry over $100,000 this year during the MCS season. Let me show you what makes the Jaguars so good. All right, so we're going to come to this Jaguars playbook. Our first play is going to be motion PA cross switch from gun Y off trio close. This is one of the one of the most unique one-play touchdowns here in this game. So the setup is going to be, putting B on a drag, putting your running back on a seam streak out of the backfield, and then you're pretty much good to go, all right? So this is a longer developing play. Obviously, RB has to get deep down the field, but against cover 3 and cover 2, it's going to be very rewarding. So the reason why you want to have your drag is in case you do get shedded. So we're going to take the snap right here. We're playing against the Jets. We're going to see if we have time. I kind of feel the pressure right there, so I decide to just end up hitting my check down. So it's like if they send 3 or they send, because I know a lot of you guys play against people who send 3 and send 2. When that's the case, oh, this is what you go to, right? Because now you're going to catch them in cover 3. They're not really going to get any type of pass rush, and you're going to have time to get this bomb over the top. So you're going to see step all the way up in the pocket, and then you're just going to be able to lob that pass over the top when he gets behind that guy, if Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a noodle arm, especially if that safety isn't rotating from this. Like, you see how this safety is rotating from all the way over here? This is going to make this easier, but you see how far behind him he is. Like, if I had more room where Trevor Lawrence didn't have a noodle arm, like, I could get this pass way over the top behind him. And so that's really what makes this play and this route so good and so unique, is it's able to get behind these inside thirds and be able to score. Like, you're going to see right here how the safety is pretty much standing dead in the middle of the field. So this is going to be a whole lot easier for us to, throw the ball right over his head. So again, be on a drag, running back on a shriek. Also make sure you're in base protection, but stepping up in the pocket is what's going to make this really even better for you here, because stepping up is the name of the game. Again, Trevor Lawrence underthrows the ball, but we're seeing how we're well behind that safety. Right, you're seeing how we look at the replay. I mean, it's probably because I'm not far enough from the end zone. So you always, like, the ball right here, you would want the ball to probably be like at about the 25, like when the drive starts, you call this play, because the ball is going to be in the air for a long time. Having a quarterback with high throw power is going to help you out a lot. But really, that route is going to force this defender right here, the inside third, is going to force him to hesitate. And so that's going to hold him in the middle of the field. Right, so it's going to hold him in the middle because of this crosser, and that's what's going to allow for that guy to, go get behind him for an easy gain. Also, again, if you don't have time to throw or you want to hit something else, especially against zone coverage, this running back route out of the backfield right at the seam is another pretty good option for you. So again, we take it, and then we just see how that running back is right there, allow him to set up a block for us, and now we're able to turn that into an easy gain. So that's really our first great play here from the Jaguars playbook, motion PA cross switch, because it's a bomb, but also gives you great options everywhere else in the field. But let me show you another great one here from this Jaguars playbook. All right, so that's going to be motion dig under from gun doubles flex Y off close. All right, gun doubles flex Y off close. So what we're going to see right here is a couple things. We have a stock slot fade on Brian Thomas Jr. We have a backwards motion zig route from the running back, which I'm actually going to take off the field here. But if you wanted to have that against man coverage, zone coverage, that could help you out. But the key to this play, in my opinion, is this drag route to X. It's going to be glitch, where it gets off the ball way sooner than any other drag. That's just, or a slant, a drag, whatever route you wanted to put him on, he's going to get this like stutter step animation where he's able to just fly off the ball. Boom, and now that's all it is. He's able to get across the field way faster than these defenders are, which is overall just going to help you, as far as setting up your play and finding a guy open. So the route concept that I would use, put my tight end on a crosser, put B on a drag, and then leave X and Y on their routes. But we step in the pocket, we're going to see how that seam pass is going to be open right there to Brian Thomas Jr. So that's why you always want to have some sort of shriek route, vertical route on the field to be able to attack in case they do blow their coverage. But we go with it again right here, be on a drag, we see it. So this is going to be against man coverage. And so now you see how that drag route, that glitch drag, gets that speed boost and does a great job of getting across the field, against man coverage right there, right? So I saw man immediately, and it's going to be very hard for them to be able to press this. You see how Brian Thomas Jr. gets pressed right here, but this guy doesn't because he gets off the ball way sooner, creates separation across the field, easy completion, as we continue going. So when you're playing against any coverage, you're really going through the read progression to look for your first 2 underneath passes, and then really looking, for your tight end crosser. This is going to be a touchdown. They bump, and so we have an easy gain. Also, sometimes you're able to get a receiver against a linebacker in this formation, which is obviously going to play to your advantage. So you're just able to see overall this play really easy to set up, really easy read progression. Bumping can happen in man coverage, happens all the time. Gives us a wide open touchdown, so always have that, fade route on the field. And then always be looking for these 2 routes, either the drag here or, what's his name? Travis Hunter on his drag across the field as well. So one of those 2 are going to be pretty good for you. A very easy play to set up, very easy to run, and it's part of what makes this Jaguar scheme so dominant. All right, so if you found any of those first 2 plays helpful here from the Jaguars playbook, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. They break down Madden 26 tips and tricks just like this every single day to help you guys get better, and I'm the only one still doing it as we head into the late summer in Madden 26. So if you're serious about getting better, hit that subscribe button, and if you really want to be ready to go for day 1 of Madden 27, dominating on offense, go to the link down below in the pinned comment to grab my Jaguars offensive ebook, which you can use code YouTube to get 20% off at my website. It has the full videos, screenshots, write-ups, everything to guide you through this Jaguars offense, because those first 2 plays were just a piece of the puzzle. The entire scheme is way, way better. So I highly recommend you check it out again at the link down below in the pinned comment, and let's jump to those next 2 playbooks. Because next I want to break down the most underrated offensive playbook that not enough players are using right now here in Madden 26. Let me show you. All right, so that's going to be here from the New York Jets playbook. All right, and so our first formation is going to be gun bunch tight end. All right, and the reason why is because they're one of the few playbooks here in this game that actually has this particular RPO from bunch tight end, which a lot of players seem to say is the best RPO because it's the hardest to stop. All right, really the reason why they say this is it's the alignment of bunch tight end. It's just going to be really hard to get defenders over here on this side that don't get blocked. A lot of the RPO defenses in this game, they rely on space, right? The receivers being spaced out. And so when you basically cluster all of them together in a bunch alignment, it makes it pretty hard. And also the block targeting of this RPO seems to be a lot better than other RPOs here in this game. So it just, works to the advantage of this play. You're going to see how they really have 3 guys against 2 blockers on that left side, but yet, they're looking into the backfield, and so we're just able to speed boost, get down the sideline if I had better stick, and pick up easy yards. So it's really like this is going to be a really tough RPO for them to stop. You've seen it. I think we've, picked up easy yards every time because we know the RPO defense that you basically have to set up in this game. It has to be hard, flat, man up, pass commit on that side, and so it's like right here, they're kind of doing it. They're stacking that side. But the reality is you still see how that looked like it would look like it was going to be perfect defense pre-snap, but that guy's backpedaling, he's looking into the backfield, and he's not totally focused on defending this. So it's like, this is the problem that gets created with this RPO. Also, bunch tight end's already a really great passing formation. You literally have to set up dedicated RPO defense to stop this, and you see how this guy's lined up right over him in a perfect position. But yet he's just like doing nothing. And so and then you can speed boost too. So it's like either you're going to throw the ball or the handoff is pretty good too, right? Especially, with Breece Hall, you normally have pretty good lanes to run through. And it's just a really easy play. You can audible to this. You can come out and bunch tight end, call it. But it's going to be pretty rare for you to not pick up good yards, like at least 5 yards a pop with this. It's very easy to go to in situations where you need a reliable play. So really that's the first great play here from the Jets playbook. But also what makes the Jets playbook so good, you guessed it, it has gun bunch X nasty. And so you could really go from X nasty to that RPO and really make their life a headache. So what we're going to do here from bunch nasty, we're calling motion cross post, right? And so anytime you're calling motion cross post, you want to make sure that your bunch is never on the short side and it's always on the wide side, like I'm going to do right here. Especially when you're calling motion cross post, because you want your motion receiver, Garrett Wilson, to come in motion from the wide side to the short side. So we're going to take a snap right here. This is cover 3, obviously, and so we're able to throw that pass. Really, when I'm calling this play, I'm reading that outside corner. If he backs up the field like this, this is an easy tell that he's in an outside third or an outside quarter. And so this streak is going to hold him, and then I can just pass lead this ball towards the sideline and pick up easy yards. If he stands tall, then that tells you that he's going to be in a cloud flat, and you just have to wait for your route to run over the top of him. So we're going to take the snap again right here, bring Garrett Wilson in motion. A guy's going to follow, and so now when they follow, that tells you that they're in man, and so you're still going to have pretty good man beaters if Tyrod Taylor doesn't sail the ball. Your running back is a pretty good man beater. Your slot receiver drag to Mechie right here is a man beater. So you have a lot of different man beaters right here. They're telling us that there's going to be no flat on that side. That's a corner blitz. You recognize that, and then I end up throwing it out there. So really with this play motion cross post, going to be really easy because it's an everything beater. Against man, you're looking for your crab route, your drag, right? They're going to blitz. There's no one manned up on Breece Hall. So now, I mean, this route already beats man in itself anyway. So it's like it's a man beating route. So especially if they don't have it manned up, it's going to be even easier for you. But against man, running back, then drag, then tight end. Against zone, X receiver, then drag, then tight end possibly. Or if they don't have hard flats in the field, you can really just look to, Breece Hall anyway. But we're going to take the snap right here, man coverage, see Mechie, hit Mechie, speed boost with Mechie, and we're able to turn that into easy yards. So this Jets playbook, super, super effective because you could probably start in bunch tight end and then audible to really the hardest RPO to stop here in this game from gun bunch tight end. All right, so if you found that breakdown of the Jets playbook helpful here in Madden 26, I wanted to remind you to go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down Madden 26 tips and tricks just like this every single day to help you guys get better, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content over the summer because especially when 27 drops, we're going to be doing the same thing, helping you guys get better every single day for free here in this YouTube channel. So what are you thinking? Go down below, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into that final playbook. Because that final playbook is going to be the best off-meta offensive playbook here in Madden 26 that not enough players are using, but it's super, super easy to run. Let me show you. Alright, so that's going to be here from the Buccaneers playbook, and our first play is going to be motion spot Y corner from Trips X Nasty, alright? So this is going to be great against cover 2 and cover 3 defenses. Now, again, you're going to need time to throw. So you're going to see right here how they're going to be in just a cover 3 sky defense, and so we're just going to go ahead and spy off the pass rush here. And so what you're really going to notice and pay attention to is that if you just put your tight end on an in route and then you stem it up twice with the D-pad, and now you're going to be able to have this fade to Mike Evans get open over the top. Now, if you want to bring Bucky Irvin on his motion, that could open up your B receiver, but we're going to take the snap, and you just notice how that man, number 0, who's supposed to be an inside third, gets absolutely lost and has no chance because he never sees that. And then the outside third too, it's really not the outside third's responsibility to guard that, really, because when you call it on this hash, so you have your Trips X Nasty here in this case on the wide side, it really makes it to where this receiver's in a tough spot. It's like he gets off the ball before the corner even reacts, which is actually kind of crazy here, but he just is able to get behind him. And even if this guy was step for step, you're still able to pass this ball inside because you just have way better leverage. This guy is supposed to get back here and guard this route. He just doesn't because he's still hesitating and he thinks that he has to guard an in route. So really stemming up that in route, not putting a regular in route or really any other route besides a stemmed up in route is going to make this a whole lot easier for you, right? And so if you do get shedded, right, that time I spied off the pass rush, which you can't necessarily do all the time, but if you do get shedded, that's why I say you want to make sure that you still have Bucky Irving on that route, because that almost acts like a tunnel screen where now you're able to still turn this into huge gains down the field. You can either hit that route or you can use it as a decoy to set up like Emeka Ibuka in between the zone. So yes, you're calling this play against cover 3 and you're reading the inside third. So we're going to put them in cover 3 again, and I'll show you what an inside third looks like when he's actually about to give up this route. But now it's, again, set up the same way, drag RB, and then just call it like this, stem the tight end in route up twice, boom, take the snap. And what does the inside third look like when he's about to give it up? He's sitting in the middle of the field, and that's why I also say you need to have your other routes, because we know how pass protection is in this game, right? So you would want to hit your drag if you feel pressure, but if he's migrating, drop me to the middle like this, that means he's an inside third, and he's going to hesitate when this route starts to run behind him. So really, that's the name of the game with this play. You call it against every single defense that you see, right? So we go ahead and put them just, again, in cover 3 again. This time I'll spot off the pass rush again just so that I have time to show you. But it's like you read their defense, you know, you just call your play, and then you read it, the defense after the snap. So again, boom, take it. You can call it just like this. Boom, take the snap. He's going to hesitate. And so if he doesn't hesitate, though, because it's not 100%, especially when you have different players. So the zone coverage rating of their safety is going to have a great impact on how it kind of reacts. I guess this guy's a little bit better than the last guy, so he sees it earlier. But now he gives up this in route. So it's really like if the bomb's there, you throw it, you step up, and you anticipate possibly hitting it against cover 3. But if it's not there, then you just end up throwing your in route just like that. Easy completion in the middle, or your drag if their user takes that away. So that's really the first great play here from this Buccaneers playbook. But let me show you another one. And that's going to be Z Mesh Quick, all right? And so what we're gonna, Z Spot Quick here from Bunch Strong Nasty. And so what we're gonna do with this play is we're gonna put X on a shriek. This is an everything beater. So this is literally a play where you're gonna find someone open every single time that you call it, regardless of the defense. So you're not necessarily trying to read the defense pre-snap. All you need to do, put A on a post, stem the post all the way down. You're going to go ahead and put your running back on an angle route here, and then you're going to put your B receiver on a curl. So it's going to look something like this, and you're just taking the snap and reading the play. You notice how right here the pressure came on really quickly, so I knew I needed to get rid of the ball in a hurry, right? So, I mean, again, you're just reading the play. I don't really care what defense they're in. That's not what I'm concerned with. I'm just concerned with finding a guy open here on this play, never taking a sack. So you might get pressured, you might throw incompletions, your guys might drop the ball, and you can live with all of those as long as they're not obviously happening on a consistent basis. What you can't live with is taking horrible sacks, right? So when you take horrible sacks, like they blitz me right there, I need to get rid of the ball. So it's almost like you need to feel the pressure, anticipate the pressure, and know where you're getting rid of the ball to so that you don't take sacks. Because as I say, sacks will kill drives, but when you're able to hit easy checkdowns like that, pick up 8 yards, you're going to be able to stay ahead of the chain. So this is really going to be a great zone and man beater that's going to allow you to, again, play ahead of the chains, not really worry about too much when you're on offense, but also that stem down post right there to Godwin is a really great man beater. We sent 5 out, they sent 6 players, so one guy's going to come in free. And you see how, 53 comes in free right here. But my stem down post is going to do a great job against man coverage, cook his man, and allow for us to pick up easy yards, right? Also, your curl route is going to be an easy completion right there in the middle of the defense if you decide to throw it really on time. So really, that's the name of the game here with this play. You're just calling it. You're not really too worried about what defense they're in. You know you're going to have someone open regardless of if it's man or zone. You're just going through your read progression, right? Looking first, I would say, to your running back angle route over the middle of the field, then your post route to Godwin, and then your curl route to Ibuka. But don't sleep on this flat route as well if that's open. But this play, Z spot, quick here, or Z spot flat, is going to do a great job of just dominating every defense when you set it up like this, because you're going to have, create holes everywhere on the field for them. All right, if you found that breakdown helpful of the top 3 offensive playbooks you absolutely need to be using this late in the summer in Madden 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down Madden 26 tips and tricks just like this every single day to help you guys get better, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have, because when 27 rolls around, we're going to be doing the same thing, helping you guys get better every single day. But if you want my full Jaguars or Buccaneers offensive ebooks to transform your offense here in Madden 26, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab them both today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. They both have full written breakdowns, video screenshots to guide you through everything that you need to understand here on offense in Madden 26. And if you want to see a gameplay of me running that Buccaneers offense against a real opponent, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.